Carolina is a statewide organization that works to prevent child abuse, neglect, and injury. And they also inform us that in 2014 in South Carolina, 16,317 children were involved in founded cases of child abuse and neglect. And I think the key word there is founded, because we know there are cases that are not reported or that we don't know about. As I proceed, please be reminded that child abuse is not always physical. Child abuse can be emotional and it can be sexual. But regardless of the type of abuse, no abuse should be inflicted on children, and it's imperative that we do all that we can to prevent it going forward. We have spent a considerable amount of time in the South Carolina Senate this year on a criminal domestic violence bill. Criminal domestic violence is bad enough, but even worse is the number of cases of criminal domestic violence against women. For a man to abuse a woman is a horrible thing, but for anyone to abuse children, that's about as low as one can get. One case of child abuse is one too many, but unfortunately, we have more than that one case. Many more than one, and I'm speaking only about the cases, again, that we know of, not to mention the many cases of child abuse that go unreported or are unknown. The abuse and neglect of our children cause them to experience a high level of stress. And this stress can lead to bad behaviors and habits such as smoking at an early age, drug and alcohol abuse, and sexual promiscuity at an early age. Child abuse can also lead to depression, heart disease, and even suicide attempts. Also, abused children easily think that the abuse that's inflicted upon them is the norm, and they may grow up to be child abusers as well, because that's all that they have seen coming up in their household. We are taught that children are gifts from God. Now, most of us, when we receive gifts, we appreciate them and we cherish them. We don't abuse our gifts. However, we live in a society where some, for some senseless reason, choose to abuse these gifts that we have been blessed to have among us. As opposed to neglecting and abusing our children, I submit to all of us this evening that we should be doing all that we can to make sure that our children enjoy the best life and the bright future that they deserve. Whether we accept it or not, it's our responsibility to make sure that every child grows up in a community and in an environment that's safe and free of abuse. More than at any time in our history, children need to feel safe in this world. This is not a hard proposition, nor is it an expensive proposition. We need to be involved and engaged in healthy child development. It's merely the right thing to do. Healthy growth and development of our children, and not the abuse of them, is what guarantees the future success of our community, our state, and our nation. In other words, as I recently read, their success translates into our success as a nation, making our future, along with theirs, much brighter.